Warning, the figure that I'm reviewing today is a hentai figure and may not be suitable for younger audiences. There will be nudity involved, and if this isn't the type of video that you want to watch, I completely understand, and I will leave some suggestions for you to go and check out the rest of my channel up in the iCard up here. In saying that, this is a censored version. If you want to see the uncensored version, there will be another video up in the iCard up here which will be age restricted and uncensored. Being age restricted means that you have to be over 18 to watch it, so keep that in mind when you click that link. With all that being said and done, I hope that you enjoy the video and let's get into the review. This here is High School DxD Born's 1/7 scale figure of Akeno Himejima Yuwaku no Miko soft body version by Grand Toys. She was released in May of 2017 and I bought her new off of AmiAmi. I had her as a pre-order and she cost me 10,380 yen without shipping. So that's about 130 New Zealand dollars. She was sent with something else, so that's why I can't tell you what the shipping was, but in saying that, the thing that she was sent with was rather small, so I don't think that that made much of a difference. So I spent around about 4,000-ish yen, which is about 40 New Zealand dollars. So when you do look at getting this figure, just be aware that her box is very big and you're probably going to have to spend quite a bit of money on her shipping, which kind of stings. She is a soft body figure, which means that her body from all over her torso down to her hips are all squishy. She is a part of the set with Rias from the series, and if you don't want a soft body version, you can actually get the regular version on AmiAmi as well for a little bit cheaper. So if you're interested, I'll make sure to leave a link to both the regular and the soft body version down in the description below. So with all that being said and done, I want to get into this figure, see what her box looks like, and have a closer look at this beautiful thing. So let's get into it. So here's her box. Akeno's box is huge, and because of that I had to pay a lot of money to get her to me, which is a real annoyance. On the side you do see an image of Akeno, but this image is rather blurry, which is a bit of a shame. I know that this is an authentic figure because there is a sticker of authenticity on the back. On the back there is also a picture showing that she is a soft bust and it is cast offable on both top and bottom, and then on the side is the same picture as on the left hand side. The bottom of the box is pretty standard. It's bland and white. There are 3 sticky tape stickers on each side and on the back, just like any normal figure. We're going to open this box up. She also has a lot of packaging inside. There is a lot of blister packs holding this together. 3 all up because of her wings, her base, as well as the figure. So I had a little bit of trouble getting this out of the box. On the inside there is a DxD Born logo. It's a nice little background. So let's get this blister pack open. There is a lot of sellotape on this just to keep it all safe, so that's alright. We've got the wings in one blister pack. There is a demon and an angel wing. We'll get those open in just a second. On the second layer there is the figure herself, Akeno, and then down at the bottom you can see that there is the base. The base is really pretty. I like that purple with the light purple that comes with it. I think that looks quite nice all up. And then on the bottom you see that there's all the information about the maker. So here she is. She has a lot of plastic all over her. I kind of don't like the fact that there was a plastic bag over her more than just having some plastic under and over, because you can damage things very easily. You've got to take her head off to be able to get the rest of the plastic off of her, and the head is reasonably easy to take off. So we'll just get all of this plastic. It is good that she does have a lot of plastic over her. On the back you can see the holes for the wings. Her whole body is kind of rubbery. It's a soft bust, so when you squish onto her stomach and onto her boobs, it's all very nice and squishy. Her arms, however, are not soft bust. It's not the squishy material. So let's take a closer look at these wings. The bottom of the wings are really sharp, so be careful when you take those out. It's a black matte colour. It looks really nice. And then we've got the angel wing, which is even nicer. It's a matte black, but it's sculpted beautifully. I really like those wings. I'm trying to get all the detail in so then you guys can see it. And then you can see the peg that is on the back where you would put it into her back. On the bottom you can see that there's a little white peg. That's where you put the hair into the base so then it stays secured. Let's take a look at her face. I'm not in love with the expression, to be honest. I feel that it's cute, but it's kind of, I don't know, it's flat. She does have a lot of hair, I will say that, so you gotta be very careful with that. So let's get those wings on. You put the left wing, which is her angel wing, and then the right is the demon wings, and they're very easy to put on, easy to put together, and they stay nice and securely as well, so they're not going to fall out. So we'll put back on her head. It's really easy to put her head back on. You've just got to make sure that the neck is kind of pushed in properly because the neck does have that rubber. And I have noticed that the hair is actually kind of loose. I'm inspecting it and trying to make sure that it's not going to fall off. But you'll see a little bit later that we do have a little bit of a mishap with that, to be honest, which really sucks. We'll put her onto her base. She's very difficult to put on to the base. Just the way that they've made it, there's a metal pole, and even when you do get her on her base, there's a little bit of hover, which I really don't like. So there she is. She is very pretty, but I do have some issues with her. So you've got to take off her head to be able to take off the bra. We'll take a closer look at the bra. It's pretty. It's kind of a slightly clear, like translucent material, so you can see the light through it. And there is a lot of detail in that bra, which I quite like. And then the underwear is also made nicely, same material, and there's a lot of intricate little details, some floral patterns on the back and the front. So as you see, you can see my finger through that plastic. I think it looks really nice. This has actually already come off. I put her down for 1 sec and it just fell off. I've been back through the footage. I was very careful not to put too much pressure, even when I was putting the head down, I wasn't putting any pressure on that part there at all. I don't think it was me. Because normally it would be like this. So I am devastated and very upset. The thing is, this one here is secured so much better than this one. Even if this one went back a bit further, so then it had more, secureness. But it didn't. It wasn't plastered on there very well at all. So we'll take a 360 look at her. Her hair has been broken off by the time I record this, so unfortunately she's only got one little hair piece. She has a lot of hair. You can see all of that hair just by looking at her. She's a very big figure. She takes up a lot of space. She is definitely eye-catching and is a talking piece for sure. So if we take a closer look at her, you can see the wings. The wings are beautiful. I absolutely love the wings. That pose is really cute and cheeky as well. And I do like this figure. It looks really nice from far away. The legs, she has a lot of legs. She has very, very long legs, and it has a lot of detail in the likes of her knees and her toes, which is nice to see because even though it's not something that you'll be really looking closely at, it's nice to see the extra detail. And I do really like the base. The colour of the base really works with this figure because of all the blacks and all the kind of darker colours. It does really stand out. So if we go back up, we'll have another quick look. She also has a very nice bum. I quite like the shape of it, and the underwear was kind of hard to get back on just because of the material of the skin with the plastic of her underwear. It kind of does not slip on very well, so just keep that in mind when you cast her off. But all in all, this is a beautiful figure. So I've had this figure here for a little while now, and I definitely have some problems with it. What I have found so far is that Grand Toys make very shoddy and cheap figures. I have found so many issues on this figure, and I'm going to go through a few of them. I'm going to go through why I like this figure, but also why I have issues. So starting with her base, I feel that her base is pretty standard, but I do like the purple look to it. I like the purple base itself, and then the stone that she's standing on has a slight purple tinge to it, so it's a light purple, which I think is quite nice. There is a little peg hole at the back of that stone for her hair to sit in, and at the bottom of her ponytail there is a peg that is sitting at the very bottom, so then you can have it kind of sitting on top of it. Unfortunately, that peg snapped after like a day of having it sitting in there, so it snapped in half. So that is my first issue, is that things break very easily on this figure. If we look at her feet and her legs, the way that she stands on the base is nice. I do like how much shading there is in the likes of her feet and her legs, but you can also see a little bit of where she's standing. She kind of hovers on the stand instead of sitting nicely in it, which isn't a huge deal, but I don't really like it that much. The one thing that I do really love about this figure is the fact that her torso, from the top of her sleeves going down to the top of her stockings, are all squishy. I absolutely love the squishiness of her body. The fact that all of her torso is squishy is awesome. Just going back down to her socks, I feel that the colour is nice. I like the sculpt of the socks and all the different shading that it has around the likes of her knees and her toes. It looks really nice, and I think it works with the figure. If we take a look at her underwear, the knickers that she wears has a nice colour to it. It's kind of like a slight translucent plastic, which I think is quite cute, and it has a really nice design on the front. It's like a floral design to it on the front of her knickers, and the same on the front of her bra. It has nice little details to it. The main issue that I have with her underwear is that it does not stay snipped very well. Where the clasp is that she holds onto with her fingers, it pops out all the time. It would be okay if the peg that went into the other part of her knickers was black, but it's not, it's white, so you can see it easily. In hindsight, is not a good thing, you know. I think that they really should have put it as black instead of white. Her bra is beautiful. I really do love the details on this one. I like how they sculpted the whole bra piece on the front, the cups. It has nice florals and has nice ruffles. Unfortunately, I don't really like how they made the bra, how there is pretty much nothing in between the arms. There's no clasp to clasp it together, which I suppose in some ways the way that they did it makes sense, but at the same time I'm just not overly fond of it. The other issue with the way that they made the bra is that because it doesn't really join into anything, you can see a little bit of an area that isn't attached to anything. There's a little bit of a hover. Now if we talk about what's underneath the bra, her breasts are nice and perky. They're not too over the top. They're nice and squishy. I like squishing them because they are the squishy material. They've got a nice coloration to them, and the nipples have a nice coloration to them as well, and they've got a nice shape to them as well, which is very important. I still feel that the nipples could be lowered just a little bit. That's one problem with most anime figures when it comes to hentai figures, is that the nipples are always very high. Now, the main issue that I have with her body, she doesn't have any genitals. She has Barbie doll anatomy down below. So she does not have a vagina, she does not have any lips, she does not have anything whatsoever, which I'm really disappointed about, because it would have looked really nice if they had done some sort of anatomy down there, especially with the rubber texture that they made the body out of. I feel it was a missed opportunity. I did not know before I bought this that it had Barbie doll anatomy, and to be honest, it might have persuaded me not to buy this figure. And the fact that it doesn't have anything down there is just a really big disappointment. I wish that I had known this beforehand. Going up to her hands and the sleeves that she has on her wrist and on her arm, they're really cute. I like the little detail of the buckle that's on it. Looking at her stomach, she does have a lot of shading and different colours along her stomach, along her belly button, and even on her back, which I really like. I think that they definitely got the colorations right on this figure, which is very important, because sometimes you can have a lack of shading and a lack of colours, which just makes it look flat, or you can have the opposite and have too much colour and make it look cartoony and weird. But they've got a good in-between point, so that is definitely a plus. If we go up to her face, I'm not in love with the expression she has, actually. I'm not in love with her face. It's okay, but I feel that her eyes, there's something about the shape of her eyes, there's something about the pointiness of her nose and the shape of her mouth. It's just something that annoys me about it, and it just does not sit right with me. Maybe it's a little bit too soft for the way that she's posed. Maybe she needs to have a little bit more of a cheeky look to her. I don't know. I'm just not a huge fan of it, and that just is a personal taste of mine. There's nothing really wrong with the face itself sculpt wise or paint wise. It's just my own personal preference, and it just doesn't do it for me. Now, on to the worst part of this figure. Her hair. Her hair is atrocious. While the paint job is okay, if we look at the very top of her head, there is something missing. You may have seen it before. I was in the middle of reviewing this figure and her hair snapped off. Just from me moving her around, you know, picking her up like this, moving her around, taking off her head, putting her back down, her little hair antenna thing, I don't even know what to call it, snapped off. And when you have a closer look, you can definitely tell that it wasn't secured on very well. It is just a shoddy job. If you look at the rest of her hair, there are also some paint defects where it's not painted enough. It looks kind of smudged, and it just doesn't look nice at all. On top of that, the hair doesn't really have that much of different colorations through it whatsoever. Doesn't have much in the way of shading. It's just a standard flat black, which I don't like that. I feel that it needed to have a little bit of variation of blacks to just make it pop out a little bit more, and not have so many paint issues. All in all, it's crappy. It's crappy workmanship. The one thing that I do like about this figure is her wings. The angel wing has a beautiful sculpt, and I love how they have painted it. It does have multiple different colours of black throughout it. It has a nice little bit of gradient in it, and the wings sit in nice and snug in her back, so I know that they're not going to fall out. And as for the demon wing, it is very, very pointy. You could seriously injure yourself on the ends of those wings if you're not careful. It has a nice sculpt, and the colour is also really nice. It's a standard black, but it kind of has a matte look to it, which looks really nice with this figure. And I suppose the other thing that I should really talk about is her pose. I think that her pose is adorable, and I do really like it. It's just a shame that this figure has so many issues with it, so many problems. There is a figure that I really, really want to get that is made by Grand Toys. It is the Orinomoto 1/2 scale figure, and it is a full bust form, so it's like squishy, like this one here. But I am now second guessing whether I want to buy it because it is by Grand Toys. So just buyer beware when it comes to buying from this company. It could have just been that this figure here was a dud. It could have just been a defected figure. But the fact that I paid so much for it is atrocious, and it cost me so much to get here as well. The box was freaking huge, and the shipping was about $40, which is ridiculous. So the fact that it was in such a big box, it has so many things wrong with it, and it cost me so much, I'm not happy with the figure. She is definitely a stunning piece. She looks really nice far away, but as soon as you get to her close up, you see all the problems. Now, if this figure was about 90 New Zealand dollars instead of about 130 to 140-ish, then sure, I'd probably overlook a lot of these flaws because there is that difference in price. But the fact that it was getting up towards the 150 mark, you do not expect that for this type of figure. So, all in all, I am disappointed with this one. Sure, I'm happy to have her in my collection, but I'm going to be wary on buying figures from this company from now on. Let me know if you guys have this figure and what you think of it. Do you have any of the problems that I have? Please let me know down in the comments below, because I'd love to know if anyone has run into the same issues or if it was just my figure. If you enjoyed this one, please make sure to give it a big like and share it out to all your friends. I'd really appreciate it. And if you're watching this in the censored version and you want to see the uncensored version, make sure to check the iCard and the description below, because the links will be there to go and see the uncensored version in all its wonderful and naked glory. Just remember that it is an R18 video, so you have to be over 18 to watch it. If you haven't already, please go and check out the rest of my channel. I've got plenty of videos on there, including anime news, anime figure reviews like this one, and anime recommendations. There's lots of things for you to watch, and I'm pretty sure you won't get bored. If you want to chat to me and see what I've been up to, I'm on social media. I've got a Twitter, Facebook, Discord, Anime Amino, lots and lots of different platforms that you can check me out on, so make sure to check the description below for all of those. And if you want to see more from me and more videos like this, then please make sure to subscribe for a wide range of anime content. From Mika, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye!